Good morning, guys. I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Team Money Trading Capital, my friends. Let's look at what I was looking for at GBPUSD. We did have a few losses yesterday, yes. Just keeping the risk normal. So this one, I lost 2K based on the two trades that we took yesterday, and then we then had this solid push from GBPUSD. It is a stronger pair, so that's why the rewards seem higher than expected, right? So I took entry right here, risking 1K again, and then when price got around here, I got 5K. Almost 6K. So I closed around 4,500 Rand and the rest was remaining. Keep in mind, my stop loss is now in break even. So listening, guys, understanding Forex, you'll never get those runners that hit TP all the time, right? Sometimes it does happen, but we have learned the dynamics of the market changes every single time, right? So now looking at this trade, just to help you guys understand what I was looking for, how I looked for the entry, and why did I take sales last night before after that 1.5% loss. Okay, going back to the daily time frame, looking at this beautiful structure that was happening. So I saw, let's just delete today's candlestick. All right. So looking at this, I saw something happening, right? This is a bearish engulf based on the daily time frame. So you can use this as your confluence and stuff, right? So and I saw then price coming around this area right about here. So now looking at this bottom wick right here, this is just building confluence, seeing what I'm looking for. You can see price has come here and rejected. As you can see, if you move this to the left, we have some rejections happening right there. So price then we have this bearish engulf. What happens about the bearish engulf? Often than not, even our entry confirmation say the same thing. What happens? It'll pull back 50% of the time and then starts to reject that zone. So that was my confluence based on the trade yesterday. So then we started mapping out our zones. Looking at the previous daily candle was this one based on yesterday's trade. I covered the top wick of that candlesticks and then I started covering the bottom wick of that previous daily candle, keeping in mind in which area we are at right here. So price was pushing away from this area right here, right? So keeping that in mind from your confluences, I then went to the 4 hour time frame. Going to the 4 hour time frame, that's where I started to see some sort of a great rejection happening and confirmation exactly same time as that happened. So now we can see that we have a period of candlesticks pushing to the downside for a period of time. So that helped me understand. Come on, what is happening now? I don't know why this doesn't want to move, but let's continue plotting. So now minor zones, we couldn't refine this because it's already refined properly. We now have those top wicks right here. So this is actually refined. So looking at the candlestick that is touching the zone, which was this one. So I covered the bottom wick of that. All right. So we have black candlesticks. So now we're just basically thinking in your mind, price moves in waves. So what happened? Price just basically moved to the downside, right? So what was I seeing when price went into my minor zone? Exhaustion phase and then that continuation. Then price can possibly push up or further down, right? So that's what I was thinking about while looking for that entry criteria. So now when going to the 1 hour time frame, let's see if this can move now. Perfect. All right, and let's bring this closely. So that is the mana zone right there. I'll show you guys how we looked for that entry perfectly, perfectly, perfectly. As you can see, that's not that's the minor zone actually. This is the major zone. Come on, major zone, major zone, and this is my minor zone. All right, minor zone. All right, so also not forgetting that we do still have a minor zone right here, so we can plot that out. But most of the times, I do not take much consideration, especially after I told you this was just a lower high being formed. So that's what I was thinking about while taking that entry. So you can go then to your 1 hour time frame. That's where I saw the entry confirmation happening. What is nice about this is that price now tapped nicely into that zone. As you can see here, price then closed bearish engulf straight off this bat. And look at this wick. It is now bigger than this one. So that just tells you that the rejection is higher. So I normally use my line just like this to help me understand in what phase I am. Remember, we need to have a change of character right happening right about here. So we can see price pushing to the upside into the minor zone up here, right? So then we have the strong close bearish engulf entry confirmation already off our minor zone, knowing very well with our confluences that price created that low, and then this was being a lower high being formed. So let's go to the 30 minute and whatever. As you can see, do you see what I mean by change of character? Price started moving to the upside, boom, boom, and then price then started changing character by confirmation of that 1 hour candlestick. So when this happened, it just looks like 1 hour candlestick, 1 hour candlestick closing here. So that was basically telling me my change of character has happened and I'm ready to look for that entry. So that's where I then look for 50% retracement. Let me just delete this one, just like this. 50% of this previous candle. As you can see, if we go back to our group, how we looked for that. So this happened. All right. So that's how we look forward. And when price closed again here, if you see my screenshots, you'll see I did take another entry. Why? We're below our minor zone. So we took another, I took another. I didn't share it with the community. I just took another 50% retracement entry here. And I'm sure that's why you see that I have so much entries on my account. So this is basically what I was doing. And then take profit roundabout here. So this is basically how the trade played out. So woke up nicely and price was here, and then I closed a few positions. I closed 4.5k, and the rest I've got 2 trades running, which is now in break even as well. So these ones are closed. The second entry trades are closed, and a few of the first entry is closed. Right. So yeah, that's basically it. All right.